Hey, Tina, you may go.
Okay. All right, I am going to welcome everybody. I'm going to open this Town of Griswold Board of Selectmen regular meeting being held at the Griswold Senior Center, 220 Taylor Hill Road on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Item number 1, call to order, roll call. Tina Falk, first selectman, Martin McKinney, selectman, Rich Grabowski, selectman, Lisa Wood, executive assistant. Item number 2, pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Okay. Item number 3, approval of minutes.
Make a motion that we approve items 3A, B, C, D, and E as presented.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve August 26th, regular meeting minutes, August 27th, special meeting minutes, August 28th, special meeting minutes, August 28th, special meeting minutes, and September 2nd, emergency meeting minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 4, correspondence. We have no correspondence. Item number 5, old business, discussion and possible action on update of pickleball courts. We don't have a lot of information, any new information to share. But we are looking at the, possible discussion, and this is my idea. And it will be discussed with the selectmen and after doing a little bit more research, but I'm kind of looking at the possibility of locating a pickleball court somewhere on that front field of the Public Works Department. That front field is utilized for some other sporting events. It wouldn't take up the entire field. It wouldn't take up as large a space as several tennis ball courts, but it's just a thought in my head, so I'd like to investigate that a little bit further.
Absolutely.
Okay, Rich, any?
I'm fine. with
No?
that, yeah.
Okay. Item number 5. B, discussion and possible action on placement of red light cameras, and I think Todd Babbitt, you are here, and you did hear back from UConn something?
Most of what they've gotten so far is municipalities working on municipal roads where they own signals. There's a few that are on state signals, but those towns haven't responded to their reaching out to data, what process they use to investigate that.
And is our application for the state cameras at this point, not our own cameras, correct? Or,
We don't have any municipal signals, they're all state signals.
so it's all state stuff, okay.
All right, so we'll ask you to continue
Yeah,
having discussions with them. Whatever information, okay. Number 6, new business, discussion and possible action on 9 tax refunds for a total of $1,075.38 as presented by Leona Sharkey, tax collector.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 9 tax refunds totaling $1,075.38 as presented by our tax collector, Leona Shark.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 6B, discussion and possible action on social media issues. I have nothing.
I have nothing.
And I have nothing.
Okay. 6C, discussion and possible action on recommendation of the Griswold Housing Authority to appoint Michelle Kelly as a member of the Griswold Housing Authority to fill the unexpired portion of a term 2/1/21 through 1/31/2026. And we have Paul Bricky here, and we do have Michelle here.
I'll make a motion that we approve the recommendation of the Griswold Housing Authority to appoint Michelle Kelly as a member of the Griswold Housing Authority, filling the unexpired portion of the term of 2/1/21 through 1/31/26.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye,
Aye. And,
welcome.
yeah, welcome, Michelle. And Paul, yes,
Yes,
yes. Lisa will send you an appointment letter, letting you know exactly what you need to do. I think that your work history will be extremely valuable to the housing authority, so I'm happy that you're stepping into this committee, okay? Thank you. All right. 6D, discussion and possible action on reappointment of Elizabeth Scannell as a member of the Ethics Commission for a term of 10/9/2025 through 10/8/2028.
I'll make a motion then that we reappoint Elizabeth Scannell as a member of the Ethics Commission for the term of 10/9/25 through 10/8/28.
I second that motion.
Okay. 6E, discussion and
All in
possible.
favor?
Oh, I'm sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Excuse me.
I do have a question. How come some of these terms are so long? Does that make any sense? I mean,
Must be.
some of these are 10 years.
They're set up by the ordinance.
Are they, is it?
Yeah.
It's an ordinance, yeah,
Okay. It just seems like some of them are,
longer than
Long.
others, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go on to 6E. I was hoping that Jennifer Gauthier, she was going to be here. It's discussion and possible action on additional polling place location. Jennifer met with the Griswold Fire Department last week, and had a discussion about setting it up for another district polling location. They did vote in favor of having use of the Griswold Fire Department for future elections, referendums, and she was going to talk a little bit more about that. And some of the comments that were coming in and the concerns that were coming in that led to this were not having the two polling locations. And there were people who commented that if they live on the outskirts of town, the convenience of being able to go, we used to have it at the old Patchogue Town Hall. There was a danger there. There was a safety issue there. And in talking with Tom Holowati, that was always the concern, people pulling in and out of that tiny parking lot and then Old Bethel Road. Whereas with the Griswold Fire Department, they have the parking in back, the lighting would be set up, and that exiting the polls would go the opposite way on Old Bethel Road, so that it wasn't that dangerous traffic pulling in and out onto 138. So, my personal feeling is that, and I did mention this to Jennifer, my feeling is that it shouldn't take place for this coming election, simply because there's not enough time to notify the public. So I think going forward, this should be a discussion,
I do have some concerns because I don't think Griswold really needs to, which I'm fine with either one, the town hall or the Griswold Fire Department. The other thing is there's dedicated phone lines that have to come in to these facilities that we as a town have to pay for, number one.
Yep.
Number two, we're gonna put a bigger tax burden with this 11-day advance voting, 14 days, whatever these days are. You know, it went up, our budget went up substantially, this year to last year, well, a couple of years back when this early voting started and all this stuff happened. So I think I think from the register of voters, I can't talk to the registered voter, because I'm a registered voter, but we're gonna have double the people. And from what I'm seeing, I don't know if there's double the people to do the work, and then it's gonna cost the town double the money to do it. And I think our town is small enough geographic area, if we do one place and keep it at one place, whether it's the town hall, whether it's school, whether it's the firehouse, whether it is what it is. That's just my opinion on that, and I really think creating a bigger monster with this early voting and costing us double the money, and that's just my fiscal thought process, but I don't really have a problem with it inherently, other than paying for it, so.
No, and those are valid comments. I think the one thing that I thought about, and the registrars did say that it wouldn't require more people. I would believe it would, but this is what I'm being
I
told.
think it would.
But the other thing that, some comments from the residents were, and I mentioned the people who live on the outskirts, if they go home from work, and some of them didn't know, and they would go to Patchogue Town Hall and they would say, I'm just not gonna vote. And I heard this from more than one person. I'm just not gonna vote. I'm not going all the way back into Jewett City. So I think there needs to be, more discussion about this.
I make a motion that we table this to the next meeting and inviting the registrars, both registrars to come and discuss the issue.
With some cost
Yes,
tied to it. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so we have a motion to table this item
The next scheduled meeting.
Yeah.
to the next scheduled meeting, okay? Want a second?
Yeah, sorry. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now, is it appropriate that I bring this, well, I'll bring this onto the agenda. Number 7 is any other business that may properly come before the board. I would like a motion to add on to the agenda. Early voting and, procedures having to do with town representatives in the building.
I'm gonna stand on this part of it, so you guys can do
Okay, that's fine.
I'll second the motion that you want to read into the record. A statement from the registrar of voters as it pertains to in-person voting and designation of location procedures, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion. I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and Martin McKinney will abstain. We had a conversation, because we were told that during voting, if you are on the ballot, you cannot be within 75 feet of the polling location. And I understood that, but then I started to think, what is this going to mean for the upcoming November election? Because all 3 candidates here will be on the ballot, along with some other candidates. However, you're looking at 14 days of early voting. How's that going to work? If I can't go into the office for 12 days because of that. So Cindy Martin did a little bit of research. And she did, she spoke to the appropriate people. And this is the response that we have. And it's actually good news. Section 9-163 AA. A person, including any candidate or campaign or party employee or volunteer, may be within the 75-foot radius described in subdivision 1 of this subsection, only for purposes related to the performance of such persons' official duties or to the conduct of government within such radius, only for as long as necessary and provided such person is not engaged in any conduct described in subdivision of this subsection. So, government business, town business, we will be allowed to be in the building. So, I guess I have to go to work every day. All right. Any comments about this?
Nope,
Okay,
makes sense.
all right, now, again, under any other business that may properly come before the board, I would like a motion to add on to the agenda executive session following the meeting. Going into executive session for personnel matter.
Yeah, is that a motion you made?
To add it to the agenda.
Okay, we're gonna add it to the agenda. I'll second that. To add it to the agenda for
Okay,
discussion under item 7.
okay. And then I would like another motion.
Oh, hang on, let's
We gotta
go
vote.
on that one.
Got to vote on that
Hold
one.
on.
We have a
Hold on.
motion and a second to add executive session onto the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then I would like another motion to move public forum before the executive session.
Don't move.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to move executive session after public forum. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So then we're gonna go on to public forum, number 8. Do we have any public forum?
Scott.
That it was 22, short drive. Been on the board of finance now for probably coming up on 14 years. The chair for, no, 8 years, 10 years, I don't know. So I speak more from that perspective. I'd really like the board of selectmen to consider, and I know the best mechanism, whether it's to go to the ordinance committee and draft an ordinance. But I believe that we may have reached it, I mean, I feel like we've reached it 7 years ago, where there needs to be kind of another layer, when you get elected to these boards. And here's what I mean. You get elected to a board, and I kind of look at it like, you got your learner's permit, you learned how to drive, I'll date myself, in a little Chevy Chevette, that's all you ever drove. You got your license, and the first day you get your license, your parents throw you the keys to their Corvette and send it, well, have a good time, and take it easy. Get on a board and largely feel like a deer caught in the headlights. It would be handy if there was some sort of an act and some kind of required. And maybe not all boards, maybe it's just certain boards, board of selectmen and board of meetings. Other boards, maybe it's just board chair, that they gotta go through something that's put on, whether it's through CCM, whether it's through town attorney. How to run a meeting, Robert's Rules of Order. What's that role? What is your role on that board? What is your scope of authority? What are you doing in this like executive session? What qualifies for executive session? I think there's a component that's missing. I can speak from experience. Background, business background, finance is easy. You throw all the other nuances in there. And quite honestly, all you do is you wing it, you crush your fingers, and you hope for the best. And I don't think that that's the best way moving forward, not only from a proper efficiency standpoint, but also I think from a liability standpoint. I think that there needs to be some other little bit of a layer. Things for a day or two. I don't know if that's practical or not. I don't know whether we should just have the town attorney come in and glaze over here, just here are all these key points that you need to know, but that to me is something that is missing. Fairly large gap there.
I don't know if it still applies now, but when I was first elected to the Board of Finance many years ago, I don't know if it was OPM or CCM or somebody, we had a Board of Finance handbook.
So it's funny you mentioned it. There is still a quote unquote board of finance handbook. The only thing that's out there and available, I think actually comes from like the town of Spring. And it was something that you could find out, if you Google it. I think board of finance handbook, it'll come up and it's like, I think the town of Spring or something like that. And it's from like 1972 or 1978 or something like that. And that's good. That handles a small portion. That doesn't dial in your, the true role or scope. But I see all of the different, things that go on. I pay attention to boards. And I'm like, boy, maybe we should have thought about that. Maybe we should have done this. I've gotten in situations where, I've been in a situation where, gee, do I need to call executive session for that or don't I? How do I handle that? What can we talk about in there? What can we talk about out there? It would be nice for everybody to officially, from somebody that's in a position of authority that can speak to this, know what your role is and know what you can legally do or not do before you get yourself in a jam. And, we can say, well, this has worked great for us so far, but, I don't know, maybe you just leave it to the chairs of the board. You want to become a chair, you're gonna elect the chair, here's the requirement. If you don't meet that requirement, then you're gonna have to give the chair, you have to let somebody do it. They're responsible for, kind of policing that whole thing. I don't know what the answer is, but I think there's something that's missing there that I can only speak from experience.
Right, and as far as the land use, I know you bring up a good point. We have to go to continuing education for land use, a certain amount of credits for wetlands and for zoning. But they don't even brush the Robert's Rule of Order and the executive session, not that, and you're right, I've been chairman for a lot of years myself. And, like last night we had a thing, it was a first and not a second. I really didn't know how to handle it because it never really happened. So you're right, there's some issues that you have to, like, you hope you make the right decision, but it would be nice if they had a class or they required, to have a class like that. Absolutely.
Just something for consideration.
Absolutely.
No, you're right. You're right.
Board of Finance paying for this all? Just throwing that out there before we get started.
So, I will say, we took a class in Robert's Rules at the firehouse about 3-4 months ago.
Mhm.
So they are available. You look online and you can sign up. Don't know how much the cost was. They are available.
Who did you have teach it?
Huh?
Who did you have teach it? Who did you go to? What agency?
Some other vendor that provided it, that they're like specialists at it.
I look at it like, you gotta work, you gotta go in, you gotta get sworn in, and then the clerk says, okay, here's the ethics policy, make sure you read it, because now they're requiring you to sign off that you've been, quote unquote, trained on it.
Mhm.
I kind of look at it sort of like that, but it kind of goes hand in hand, there was a point in time, I don't know, 8-10 years ago, where every board, when they came in and they got elected in November, so we don't need, really, they came in, they did a 15-minute quick presentation and kind of went over.
That's a thought, too.
Yeah.
That was very handy. So something like that, whether or not we can piggyback on something like that, and it comes to quick, 45-minute or an hour long class, when you get elected, like I said, we'll purchase the chairs out.
Good idea.
I just want to ask now, Jennifer's here. Can there be any discussion about that?
We are done with any other business.
Do you have a comment about this?
She could comment on the public forum, that's it.
Okay. Go ahead.
We are in public.
We're in public forum.
Hey, Jennifer, could you just state your name and address, please?
Jennifer, 70 Brown Avenue.
Thank you.
DPM does a class for newly elected folks. You might contact them and see if they can come and give a course for everybody. They might do that. And the Freedom of Information Commission does trainings for, executive sessions, and they'll do it for free. So you just have to coordinate with them, so maybe that's something you can get all your boards and commissions together for a meeting maybe here, and have them come and invite anybody that wants to come, but they do, they have an education, outreach guy, and that's all he does is train people around the state.
I did, I had a meeting with CCM last week. And they did leave a packet with all of their trainings and that, so I will look into that.
And they do let a boot camp after November for anybody that's new, who maybe that's anything on my belt.
Sure. Thank you. Any other public forums? Okay. Hearing nothing. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
No, you
Okay.
need to go back to a motion to now enter into executive session.
Oh, okay.
And adjournment will be immediately following the executive session, just so people know.
Okay, all right. So I need a motion to go into executive session.
Under item 7B, make a motion, we go into executive session for the purpose of personnel discussions,
Inviting in
inviting in
the Board of Selectmen. Finance Chair Scott Davis. Kelly Vashon. Lisa, do we have to invite you in?
No, please.
no,
Okay.
please.
All right, please. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
At
6:26.
So now. After we come out of executive session, then we can adjourn the regular meeting.
Yes.
Well, you like the Zelda that I gave.